the government. So what happened when you register your child with the government, now the government will create a new corporate entity, which is your trade name, the trade name of the child, so that when he becomes 18 years old, he will be able to do business with the corporate world. Now, why do you need a corporate entity to do business with the corporate world? It's very important. A sovereign person has 100% liability on his actions. He is responsible for everything that he does. If he commits a crime, he cannot hide. He has to pay for it. A corporate entity is a limited liability, so it's a limited power also. So you cannot do business with a corporation because it doesn't work in natural law. A corporation can do business with a corporation. Corporation, which is a limited liability, cannot do business with a sovereign, which is unlimited liability. One person over here taking full responsibility, another person is not taking any responsibility. It doesn't work. So they created a name which is similar to your name, but in all capital letter. Now, if you go in English grammar, you will see that proper nouns, proper English doesn't recognize all capital letter. It's always upper and lower case. So the child's name, its Christian name, it's upper and lower case. It represents the child. However, when you register, the government will create a corporate entity, which is your trade name that you will be doing a business with the corporate world, and it's going to be all capital letter. Now, in order to verify this, you're going to have to go to your wallets, and you're going to have to get all your documents out, and you will see that not even a single document will spell your name upper lower case. Everything is in capital letter. And the reason why, because those wonderful benefits and cards, it's not issued to you per se. It's been issued to your trade name. So if you have a Social Security card, that's not yours. That's for the trade name. The trade name has a Social Security card. The trade name has a driver's license, passports, and credit cards. And you will see everything in capital letter. Now, you can go to the bank to verify this and ask them if they can spell your name on their computer upper lower case. The teller probably will say, no problem, I'll do it. And as soon as she starts typing, even though their computer is the same as any other computer, you can do upper lower case or capital letter. When she starts typing upper lower case, the computer will input all capital letter. She's going to say, I don't understand this. How come I keep punching upper lower case, but it's all capital letter? Well, I guess that's the way the computer is set up. Well, the system is set up this way because that bank account, it's not yours. The bank account, it belongs to the trade name, all capital letter. Now, you are the authorized signature. You're not the owner. If you want to check on that, if you have personal checks where there is a line where you have to sign, well, it looks like a line, but it's not. That's small writings that you have to magnify 40 times, and it will say authorized signatory. It doesn't say owner. Of course, you're not going to see it if you check it right now, but if you have a magnifying glass, you will see that it says authorized signatory. Because your signature, basically, you're putting on the check on somebody else's account. It's not your account. It's the corporate account. So what we're trying to say is there are two entities involved, which people, most of the people, they're confused by saying, well, my name is Vic Bedian, so I have a Social Security number, I have a driver's license. No, you don't. Upper lower case, the human being, flesh and blood, you cannot have any privileges. Some people, they say, I would like to get my sovereignty. What do I do? And I keep telling them, you are a sovereign. You cannot just take it back. You are a sovereign. Now, if you think you're not a sovereign, you're in the wrong place. You are a sovereign. You're created by God. You're a flesh and blood. You are a sovereign. You're accountable for every single action that you do in your life. However, you surrender your sovereignty as soon as you get involved in contracts. And that happens when you are 18 years old and you start getting involved in Social Security, you're getting involved getting a driver's license, you're getting involved by signing the 1040. All these privileges, you do it voluntarily. Now, no one is putting a gun in your head to get involved. However, the system is set up in a way that by the time you're 18, you are a good citizen. The schools, they're going to teach you how to file your taxes. They will basically tell you that you need to get a degree, a job, and you need to pay your taxes so that you can help the country. I have no problem by helping the country. I have no problem by supporting the country, the wealth. However, I do have a problem personally to pay to a third party, not to the benefit of our country, to the benefit of whoever set up this system, which is the international bankers. Now, let's talk about this UCC and what it means to us. Of course, there is natural law. No one can take it away from us. There is the common law, which is English law. And the common law, it's not written, by the way. However, we have books on the common law. And then there is the commercial law. These international bankers, which has nothing to do with the United States, by the way, because every single bank, it's chartered from England. So all their charters comes from England. England controls all the banking system. England controls all the court system and the representatives, which is the judges and the attorneys. And international corporations also controls the media. Not by fraud, by money. They finance. They bought every single one of them. That's why you're not going to hear about this information, because they decide what to put it on the air, what not to put it on the air. So the whole system is controlled by international bankers, international financiers, and they are basically implying their rules and regulations. So don't complain about it, because you cannot change it. They have the money, they created the money, and basically we accepted whatever they offered. If you want to be in the system, well, I say in the system, that means in civilization, in this city in Los Angeles, and you want to live like a decent person and not stopped by any government officials, then you're going to have to play the game, which is accepting your Social Security, opening a bank account, credit cards, paying taxes. You have to do all these things. Well, paying taxes, I don't know, but you have to. The system will basically force you to do all this. You go to apply for a job, and they'll tell you that you need Social Security number. So if you don't have one, they're going to give you trouble. Of course, there are a lot of other ways to deal with it, but we're not going to discuss about those things. The last time when I checked with the Library of Congress, there was over 3 million books, law books, over 80 million statutes. Statutes, they're laws in commerce. And what are these laws? These laws basically based on contracts. And you're really surprised when you're in front of the judge and it says that ignorance of the law is no excuse. And you think about it, there are 80 million of them. So how can I just, try to remember all these 80 million codes so that I don't violate them? It's impossible. However, if you understand that these codes and laws applies only for corporations, remember, a sovereign, which is a king, doesn't need regulations. He is responsible for his actions. A corporation needs to be regulated because it's a limited liability. There are certain things that corporation can do and certain things that they cannot do. It needs to be regulated. So your name, when it's corporate entity, it's being regulated by all these codes. And this is very important. People, they go to the court and they think that they are the same person, that the judge has this summons or a complaint, and their name, it's written all capital letter. So this is the main problem that people, they have. You are not that person. That person is a corporate entity. However, since it was derived out of you, that name, when you were born, and it was given by your parents, it belongs to you. But it doesn't matter what you own in this country. It matters who controls it and who has a security interest. Since you never claimed your property, the government assumes the ownership. Assumes the ownership doesn't mean that they're the owners, but they assume that they have a security interest because it was given to them so that they can use it. What the government